Ladies and birthing persons, we once again find ourselves gathered together under circumstances that can only be described as tragic. It seems like every week here at Woke United Methodist, we are eulogizing another fallen media career of one of our brothers and sisters. My fellow parishioners, I know I speak for all of us when I say I am tired of the senseless violence. I am tired of seeing the woke welfare expire, cut off by the evil white man. How is our church supposed to survive without the donations from our parishioners? They cannot donate if they are not receiving woke welfare. They will be coming to us wanting a hand out, eating up all our food, soaking up all our air conditioning in the summer and climate-friendly heat in the winter. Ladies and birthing persons, your pastor is tired of the shit on fuck crime. I received the devastating news this morning that the mainstream media career of our sister, Tiffany Cross, was the victim of senseless violence. We cannot sit here silently while the evil white man takes away our opportunities. We cannot sit silently and condone the expiration of woke welfare. Money we have not earned but are owed. That is what we call reparations. Our silence is justification to the white man. At this time, I would like to ask you to grab the hand, the bongo, or the cucumber of the birthing person next to you. If you are standing next to Joy Reid, grab her broom handle. At this time, we are going to lay to rest the media career of Tiffany Cross, known to lonely men as Tiffer the Bongo Sniffer. We have prepared her burial plot right next to Brian Stelter. Let's bow our heads and observe this moment of silence. Oh, Saturday mornings will not be the same. Tomorrow morning, handfuls of lonely identifiers will tune into MSNBC, expecting to get their weekly fix of mythical racism. They will tune into MSNBC, overflowing with excitement, filled with anticipation, ready to burst at the onslaught of woke boner words. At 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, feelings of disappointment and sadness, grief, will sweep its way across America. Elon Musk, he's going to have to increase the server capacity on Twitter. Dozens of organisms resembling people will be rushing to the platform to express their displeasure. Earlier this morning, MSNBC abruptly announced they were parting ways with Tiffany Cross. Now, there are various reports as to what happened. Outlets like Variety are reporting that MSNBC simply decided not to renew her contract. Call me a skeptic, but I think that's bullshit. Tiffany Cross was fired. There's a lot of speculation as to why she was fired. I mean, there are so many reasons to choose from. Why don't we start with the fact that Tiffany Cross can't draw an audience? Ratings for cross-dressing with Tiffer the Sniffer rival ratings for the dump diving championship in the WNBA. Joy Reid is insufferable. Some find her to be detestable. But when Joy Reid was modeling wigs on weekends at MSNBC, she was drawing ratings. Over 1 million people were tuning in each weekend to see which hair color Joy Reid was rocking that day. Most weekends, Tiffany Cross struggles to draw half that number. Last Saturday, just 554,000 people watched a live disaster unfold. Perhaps MSNBC was tired of supporting a huge embarrassing failure. You can make the case that Tiffany Cross was actually set up to fail. The duplicate is never as good as the original. When Joy Reid was promoted to primetime during the week, MSNBC needed someone to fill that toxic void. When you're looking to replace someone in television, especially someone who draws ratings, you want to replace them with something different. You don't want viewers drawing comparisons between the new and the former host. MSNBC didn't do that. They replaced the mythical racism of Joy Reid with the mythical racism of Tiffany Cross. As insufferable as Joy Reid is, her mouth farts have the ability to generate attention in the mainstream media. In 2 years, Tiffany Cross failed to do that. According to Variety, executives at MSNBC have been running out of patience with the Tiffer for the last several months. They have asked her repeatedly to stop attacking and addressing cable news hosts on rival networks. She kept doing it anyway. One MSNBC executive told Variety her commentary doesn't meet the high standards at MSNBC or NBC News. What? High standards at NBC News? Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this the same network that spent 2 years pushing the myth of Russian collusion? Isn't this the same network that allows Joy Reid to create fairy tales about white supremacy? Someone please explain to me these high standards at MSNBC. This network is no different than MTV, producing fictional shows, then calling it reality television. Variety called Tiffany Cross an essential building block to the broader range of diverse voices at MSNBC. They insinuated that this parting of ways is a bad move by the network that needs more diverse voices. Ooh, diverse. Oh, I love that word. Please passionately spank my diversity. Yeah. Doesn't seem like diversity is paying the bills at MSNBC. Shocker. Zerlina Maxwell. Failure. Amen Moheldin. Failure. They brought in the gender-neutral Alex Wagner to replace Rachel Maddow. Failure. Tiffany Cross. Huge, embarrassing failure. To be honest with you, I'm personally surprised that Tiffany Cross was unable to draw ratings. I mean, not only is she informative, not only is she beautiful, she is also entertaining. Let's relive some of these classic moments together. Roll the film.
All right, yes, I know. Megyn Kelly, the blackface expert, had a lot to say about me this week based on something I actually never said. So I just want to tell her, you swung and you missed. Please, girl, move on with your life. It's giving obsessed. And honestly, guys, the Jesus and Santa are white lady is not going to crawl her way back to social relevance on my show. Besides, didn't I murk her once already? Please make a list for your white Santa and pray to your white Jesus for a life. Please. Yeah, and just for the folks outside of us who don't follow the sport as closely as you and I do, of course, I gotta say, Mike, the optics just look bad. To see all these black men crashing into each other with a bunch of white owners, white coaches, and the complete disregard of black bodies and black life. I mean, it just represents a larger issue, and I think that's the problem. And with the NFL ratings through the roof, you know, I just wonder what incentive do they have to just be better? I mean, you saw the whole issue with black coaches, et cetera.
Those two clips aired in just the last couple of months. They added to the frustration at MSNBC. You see, it's one thing to be a complete dumbass. It's one thing to be incendiary while also drawing ratings. Network executives, they will tolerate bullshit when the ratings are high. It's incredibly difficult to produce a hit show. Find a hit show. If Joy Reid were drawing 500,000 viewers in primetime every night, spewing the same hatred and propaganda she spews now, MSNBC would toss her career in the woke cemetery right next to the sniffer. But it's completely different. It's a different story when you're pissing people off with your commentary and not drawing an audience. I've used this analogy before. There's a huge difference between good heat and go away heat. Believe it or not, at least in terms of the business of television, Joy Reid has good heat. Stephen A. Smith, good heat. People that can't stand them tune in to hate watch. Joy Reid doesn't care that you hate her, just keep watching her. Then you have go away heat. Brian Stelter, go away heat. Don Lemon, go away heat. Hell, the entire lineup at CNN, go away heat. And Tiffany Cross, go away heat. This happens when people are indifferent to you. You make controversial comments, no one cares. You insult an entire race of people. They don't get offended. And they don't get offended because you're irrelevant. Now, this is pure speculation on my part. I think what happened last night on Comedy Central put the final nail in the Tiffer's woke coffin. Last night, Tiffany Cross was a guest on Charlamagne the God show on Comedy Central. This show falls into the late night genre and, I mean, it's just completely irrelevant. No one watches. Charlamagne struggles to draw 100,000 viewers. They've been able to find more people who find Rachel Levine attractive than people who watch this disaster on Comedy Central. And that's no disrespect to Charlamagne. I think he's great on The Breakfast Club. I read his first book, Black Privilege, Opportunity Comes to Those Who Create It. Actually, I've read it twice. I don't necessarily agree with everything Charlamagne the God says, but I do respect the fact that he doesn't allow himself to be victimized. But anyway, Tiffer the Sniffer, she was on his show last night. They were talking about the state of Florida. You know, Florida, the state governed by the evil Ron DeSantis. Ooh, this evil, evil man. He doesn't want kindergartners learning about Trandan. The cross polluter opened up her mouth and the toxic fumes began filling the air. The stench was so strong, people in the audience were begging for Fauci masks. Watch for yourself. Do you see what happens when a shitfuck tries to be a comedian? She said Florida looks like the dick of the country. About 3 people laughed. She didn't even have to pause for the laughter to stop. One of those people laughing was Charlamagne, who for some reason found that hysterical. My sources tell me Tiffany Cross has dual-purpose mouth farts. People react to them differently. They can be used to clear a room for people who are allergic to stupidity. For shitfucks, they act as a form of laughing gas. Clearly, Charlamagne falls in the latter group. I find it incredibly ironic. The woman who literally traffics in stupidity and ignorance is accusing Ron DeSantis of doing the same thing. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. There is no loyalty in the woke movement. It does not matter how many stories of mythical racism you create. Doesn't matter how many times you victimize yourself or your own people. Doesn't matter how many bots and lonely men follow you on social media. At the end of the day, the only color that matters is green. You can only rely on racial sympathies for so long. It'll only get you so far. It got Tiffany Cross in the door at MSNBC. She was given the opportunity. It damn sure wasn't based on talent or her ability to attract viewers. Joy Reid was given the same opportunity. She found a way to make it work for her. Tiffany Cross burned the woke wiener. But let me know what you think. Tiffany Cross, fired by MSNBC. Is this the end of her mainstream media career? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.